Hi, I'm Mika Truman. Welcome to my YouTube channel as well as Frankincense School of Mystical Arts. Today I really wanted to share with you more information on what it's like to be empathic. And how do you know whether or not maybe you're empathic too? Here's just a few different signs and different things that I have noticed being empathic and what I have noticed from my students. So it's really super interesting, but when someone is empathic, you not only pick up someone's feelings and emotions, you walk into a room and of course you pick up on whether or not someone is upset or angry or happy or sad. You pick up on everybody's emotions and you can tell whether or not somebody likes you or not. But going further, what about when you go and you watch the news? And you watch the news and it goes to tell a story about somebody getting hurt. What if it's about an elderly? What if it is about a child? What if it's about a person who reminds you of yourself and something bad happened, it was some kind of awful event, and then all of a sudden it affects you so deeply that even when you go to bed at night, it's still in your mind and it runs through your head over and over and over again. And you find yourself to where you have a hard time even watching the news. You have a hard time watching movies. If you watch movies where certain bad things have happened, murders, somebody, all kinds of gory stuff, you feel like, I just can't watch that. It really seriously affects you. And sometimes you find if you're in the movies where you didn't know maybe that there was going to be such violence, you have to even close your eyes. And it affects you in such a really strong way. What about when you're around someone who are sick and you go to the hospital or you go over to their home and they're sick? They have been like throwing up. Let's say they have the flu. All of a sudden you feel like you have the flu. And then even when you go home, you feel like you have the flu. And it takes you hours to kind of kick that energy because you feel like, well, I had the flu. But you really didn't have the flu. You were just picking up on all of their symptoms. And this can go even further because what about if you're around someone that maybe has cancer or that they have some type of sickness, illness, disease, and then all of a sudden you're all worried. You're thinking, oh my gosh, do I have that? Oh my gosh, I have the symptoms. Oh my gosh, I'm sick too. And you're not. It even can go to the flu, to diseases, where all of a sudden you think you have the same thing. What about when you're around someone and they're depressed? And you find where you're around them and they're so depressed that just heavy, heavy energy. Maybe they don't get out of bed. Maybe they don't get off the couch. Maybe their energy is so low that they are pale white. And then all of a sudden you're around them and you're feeling the same way. But yet you find when you leave and you go somewhere away from that person, you feel great. You feel so much better. You feel like just a ton of bricks have lifted off your shoulders. But when you go back around them, all of a sudden you're feeling that heavy, 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 depressive energy. That can be you being empathic too. Because you can easily, as an empathic, find that you may pick up on people's symptoms, their diseases, sicknesses, illnesses, depression. What about when you're around someone and they are stoned? What if they are drunk? As you've heard them say, oh, they act like a dry drunk. Or this can be the same when you're around someone and they are high as a kite. They're laughing, they're joking. All of a sudden you find that you're taking on some of their characteristics, their physical mannerisms, and you pick up on the same energy. This can go the same way. This can mean that you're empathic and you pick up on all of that energy. You find you don't even have to go drink to have a good time, to have fun with them, because just being around them, you're going to pick up on it anyway. So being empathic is very interesting. It can truly take off on a life of its own. It truly can. and picking up on others' emotions, watching the news, watching a movie, being around, even driving past where you may glance over and see a violent action being taken or happening, and you pick up on the person, the victim, you pick up on their energy. You can pick up and feel how they feel. You can feel the sadness, you can feel the fear, you can feel the worrisome energy around it. That's all about being empathic, because it goes so much deeper than just picking up on someone's emotions from afar or from entering a room. It is so much more. But it shows that you very well may have those special spiritual gifts. And being empathic and being able to turn it on and off, you can do that. And it doesn't mean that your empathic abilities are ever going to go away, unless you choose for them to go away, because you can ask for them to be taken. You can ask not to feel. I don't want to feel them anymore. I'm just done. And you can shut the door, and you can do that. You can choose that. Or you can learn how to just turn it off and not disconnect and totally separate yourself. You can do that as well. So it's really interesting being empathic, all the pros and the cons. But you know what? At the end of the day, it comes down to what can you handle, and what do you not want to handle? What do we want to handle? That's what it comes down to. Because if you choose to where you don't feel comfortable going to hospitals and you don't feel comfortable going to funerals, choose other ways to send condolences, choose other ways to check up on someone or check in on someone. You can do that because you're special and you are unique. And you are. And you don't have to feel guilty just because you don't want to go see a certain movie. You just say no. You're at a point and a time right now where you need to take care of you and your beautiful spiritual gifts. You do. That's what's most important right now, is you coming into knowing what your gifts are and what they're about. And you may find that you've always felt this way, but it may answer a lot of questions for you. So kind of go through your checklist and see if you are affected by certain things, certain events, certain images, people. Go through your list and then learn how to turn it off. Turn it off. There's tons of information on how you can turn it off. There's a lot over on my website, which is fsma.life, Frankincense School of Mystical Arts. Check it out. But you can tap into those beautiful empathic abilities and turn them on and off and learn how to use them. But until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and blessings to you, and we will connect very soon.